What's going on, all my Poke Peeps? It's your boy Poke Pete, and today we are going to do our very normal weekly recap. So today's probably going to be Monday when you guys are watching this. It's Sunday night right now. It's time I'm recording, and of course we went to another trade night this Saturday. We also went on a little bit of an adventure on Saturday morning, afternoon. Didn't work out the way that I had hoped. Me and a couple of my local buddies were trying to hit like 4 or 5 different stores that we have never been to that are a little bit further away but like still close enough to drive to. Unfortunately, they closed early. I did not do a good job researching. I was a bad navigator. My bad, everybody. We're going to try again sometime in the future, hopefully when some of my other friends are back in town and more able to do it, because I think it'll be good. But yeah, we went to two stores at least, and we picked up some cool stuff, including the hat that I'm wearing right now. Show that off right now. Why not? Picked up a cool hat from a local store, Ketchum Collectibles. They made this super dope hat. That is their logo. The leather looks really nice on it. I love hats. I'm cool with rocking some hats. Always want to support my local stores when I can. So we picked that up from Ketchum, as well as a card that we will show off later in the recap. But we also picked up some cool stuff from another store, the Poke Shop 704, that is in Denver, North Carolina. We picked up this pretty cool Jigglypuff stamp. I think it's super dope, and I think my girl in Texas is going to really like it. So we picked this up to ship out to her. One of my really good friends, she loves Jigglypuff. Great. We picked up this little Munchlax. It's a cable holder, a little Munchlax cable holder. It looks super cool. You guys know I love Munchlax. I couldn't pass it up. We got some pins, my favorite of which is going to be the Snorlax and the inner tube. Super, super dope pin that we got from them. And then the best thing that we got all day. This is probably my favorite pickup of the weekend. He doesn't want to come off the display. My favorite pickup of the weekend is going to be this older, I think this is from like 2012, 2014, something like that. We got this older, like, little sleeping Munchlax figure. Definitely super awesome. It came in a cool box. The box is kind of destroyed, but it came in a cool box. And the guys over at the Poke Shop, I think it's Joe and Amy down there. If you guys see this and I got it wrong, I'm really sorry. I'm pretty sure it's Joe and Amy down there. They hooked us up on this. They hooked us up on all of this. It was great. Good experience. Definitely will go back. Put you back up there, buddy. Yeah, we'll definitely be back there. He was telling me about a trade night that they plan on doing, so we'll definitely go to that. You guys already know I've talked about Ketchum enough times. I love Ketchum. It's my favorite store in the area. They always have super cool stuff. And Joe and Ashley over there and Jose always hook me up, always take care of me, make me feel like I'm part of the family. So, still going to be my favorite store. Probably will always be my favorite store. My only non-favorite thing is the hour and 10-minute drive. I still want you guys to move closer. I always give them a hard time about that. They're so far from me. It's my fault. I live in the sticks. But yeah, so that's the cool stuff that we picked up at some stores this weekend. And on top of that, we got some other really, really cool stuff. And we're going to take advantage of talking about connections in the hobby today. Other than just showing off the super, super cool stuff that we picked up, I want to talk about connections in the hobby, because yesterday, a super, super dope package came for me in the mail. I got 3 amazing cards from the same seller. We got our first, we call this our first mystery mail day if you want. I'm going to reveal these a little bit later in the video. But because I got these, I wanted to talk about the importance of making good connections in the hobby and how much that can benefit you. So we're going to just take a little look here. I'm going to show off some of my personal collection. You guys have probably seen all these cards already, so it's not new cards. But we're going to talk about how I acquired them, and we're going to talk about some of the importance of that, actually. So you guys know I love Japanese e-readers. So now you've got a hint at what these 3 cards are, because they're Japanese e-readers. You guys know I love Japanese e-readers. These are kind of the only thing that I PC. I go for them in PSA 10s. I'm a 10 collector. It's what I like to do. They're cheap enough that I can do it. I'm also in a blessed position to be able to do it. I don't ever take that for granted. We've got our cards separated in some stacks. So here's my PC. This stack right here, this stack of 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. This is what I've picked up off of eBay auctions, or eBay in general. I've only gotten, out of all of the cards in my collection, I have over 35 e-readers in my collection, and of those e-readers, only 4 of them have come from eBay, which kind of speaks some volumes, right? So yes, we picked up the Raichu. We got a pretty good deal on an eBay auction on this. I think we paid $130 for this. It's like a $150, $170 card, so that was good. We were like $130 all in. We picked out this Bruno Steelix. We got this for cheap. I don't know if you guys remember, or some of you guys may be new to the channel. This Bruno Steelix actually has, like, you can't really see it that great on camera. I'm going to try to get it. But it's got, like, a bent corner that there. You can kind of see it right there. There's, like, a legitimate bend in this corner at the very, very edge of the card. I don't blame the seller at all. It's not their fault. A PSA 10 is a PSA 10. They sold me a PSA 10. I have no hard feelings towards the seller. But it kind of sucks that, like, I didn't see this in person, because now I bought a PSA 10. I bought a relatively expensive card, and I'm not really super happy with it. That's like making connections and buying locally could have saved me from getting this card, right? It's a life lesson, but it also works out for me because, like, it's kind of growing on me that I have the bent card, because I get to talk trash about some stuff, and I get to show you guys and talk about the importance of, just this video, right? We sniped this Umbreon, and I'm going to talk about this Umbreon a little bit more in a second too. And then we also bought the Crystal Kingdra. These are the only 4 cards I've ever picked up on eBay. So, talking about it, making connections, right? If you make connections, you can usually get stuff for a little bit cheaper. If you make connections, sometimes sellers will give you first dibs on stuff. Connections are important as a buyer, but they're also equally important as a seller. And I want to talk about that specifically with this Umbreon card. Now, I consider myself a pretty fair negotiator. Obviously, I'm going to try to get like a little bit of a discount. Everybody wants to save money where they can, and everybody should want to save money where they can. This card, this exact card from the exact same seller, was posted on Instagram first. And I actually offered $1,200 for this card. This is a Town on No Map Japanese Holo Unlimited Umbreon. It is not a first edition, it's an unlimited, which makes it significantly rarer. It's a super clean copy of the card. Like, this is by all means a true 10. I offered a seller $1,200. They did not want to accept my offer. The lowest that they wanted to take was $14. I respect it, whatever, that's their prerogative. The last sold on the card at the time that I made the offer was $13.50. So I was asking for right around a 10% discount because I was buying it off eBay. They wouldn't have to pay any fees. A little bit of a discount. It was a fair offer in my mind. They said no. I said no problem. We parted ways. It was all good. They posted this card on an eBay auction not even 2 weeks after the fact. I guess they couldn't sell it for their 14. Nobody was giving them an offer high enough for them to take. So they threw it on eBay auctions, and I won this card for less than $1,000 all in. I won this card for $975, of which there's going to be eBay fees on that. So the seller realistically took home about $850 on this, or no, sorry, about $890 on this card. After the fees and the shipping, because it was free shipping, after fees and shipping that they had to pay for, they took home about $890, just under $900. And I had offered them $1,200, legitimately offered them $1,200 for this card. So that's just kind of like an important thing to realize too. Not only are you going to try to make good connections as a buyer to get yourself good deals, but as a seller, you should also be looking to make good connections because it will help you with liquidity, right? Like if you're a seller and you have a buyer who's a repeat buyer, you could just offload stuff to them whenever you need like liquidity, you need some money, send them a picture, say, hey, can we work out a good deal on this? I need it gone. Sometimes they'll just buy it because it's a good price. I'm one of those people that might just buy stuff because it's a good price. On top of that, this guy who didn't want to work with me on this Umbreon, I get it. I kind of respect their, decision. At the end of the day, they don't want to move it for less. I understand that. But if you have a fair offer, try and negotiate with people, because I'll be honest with you guys. The person who sold me this on Instagram, I probably won't work with them on Instagram anymore. I probably won't try to make them offers because they didn't want to accept a fair offer and they only wanted to sell it for more than last sold. And like, I get it. If you're in on a card deeper, you don't want to sell it. You could say like, hey, I don't want to sell it. That's fine. I get it. But the way that it was handled, I don't think that I'll be doing business with this seller on Instagram anymore. So they just lost like a buyer connection. And the reason that I bring that kind of side of it up is because, now that I'm getting into more high-end sales, I'm looking to build up that high-end buyer list. I want to make connections. Like right now, all the connections that I have for a vending perspective are like lower end, mid-grade stuff, a lot of junk slabs. I'm like the king of moving junk slabs. If you guys need a junk slab gone, I'm your guy. I know how to move them. I know how to flip them. I have the connects for them. I don't know why, but that's the place that I was put into. So now I'm looking to get more high-end connections. And that's just something to think about, right? Like the connections don't just have to be from a buyer standpoint. They can be from a seller standpoint too. So that's it though. These are the 4 cards that I've purchased on eBay. Not going to harp too long on that. I don't want this video running crazy long. Next up, we've got the cards that we've bought locally. Local connections are just as good as, if not better, than Instagram connections. So local connections are always great. This card, I didn't get this from a connection. I got this from a Collecticon. But when you're doing stuff in person, you can always negotiate better and get better deals. So I paid a little bit under market on this Nidoking. I bought this for $1,600 all in. I think market on these is right around like $1,700, $1,800. So we got a little bit of a deal on this one. And we got to help out, somebody who was having a slow day at a convention. We bought a big Grail card, kind of makes their day a little bit. They're more willing to negotiate. This Rapidash, beautiful card. I traded a box of bulk for this with one of my good friends, Cooper. He's got a little small business. He does the vending to a whole new degree. He does bulk. He does TCG Player. He traded me this Rapidash for a box of bulk. I was like, heck yeah, let's run it. I got this one from a good friend of mine, Mr. Daniel Liao Cards on Instagram. If you guys don't follow him, go follow him. He's a great guy, great seller, great swirl right there. Got to show it off. We got this from him in a trade that we did. So we have no money invested in this outside of what we bought to trade, right? So getting stuff in trade value is always great. It's a good way to minimize your cost on stuff. And that's like a good thing that you can do once you make connections. We got this beautiful Split Earth Jolteon. Picked this guy up locally off one of my very good friends. Gave me a bit of a discount. And then last but not least, that good old store Ketchum Collectibles we talked about. Owner Joe, super great guy. He traded me the sequential set of McDonald's Water Energy plus Squirtle. Super dope promos. We did a straight trade on this. I didn't put any cash on top. And it was straight value for value because Joe always hooks me up. He always takes care of me. Great guy, loves making trades. I love making trades with him. So he hooked me up on these and I couldn't be happier. I'm not saying that you guys can't get good deals elsewhere, but the fact that I know Joe so personally, the fact that I always try to, be fair there. I try to be reasonable. I try to be respectful. I try to help him out. For all his trade events, I try to get there early and help set up. I always stay late and break down. I actually worked Collecticon with them. I have no standing in the store. I don't work there. I don't work with for Ketchum. I'm just there making my connection, being friends, being helpful, being friendly. And for that reason, I feel like Joe definitely hooks me up more so than he hooks other people up. And I definitely appreciate him doing that. But that's just the thing, right? If you make a good connection, you can get a great card for a great deal. You can have people work with you. If you need something done, you can get something done. So those are going to be the local connections. As you guys saw, we picked up 6 cards locally. That's already 2 more than the ones we got on eBay. And that has nothing to do with this giant fat stack of cards right here. So we're going to get this fat stack of cards going. There's 23 cards in this giant fat stack, all right? We're going to very, very quickly show them off. But these 23 cards, I was going through it. I was looking at all my receipts and everything. All of these cards are from 4 total sellers, okay? 4 sellers. That's it. I've gotten all of these, and majority of these are actually from 2 sellers, including the Mystery Mail Day 3. So these cards, for the most part, are from Black Belt Bazaar and Cards by Max. 2 guys that I have made great relationships with. I plan to continue buying stuff from. They are always sourcing. Their inventory list is always getting longer and longer. They always find great stuff that I want, and they're always willing to hook me up with a deal because I've bought so much from them. I'm always fair. I always pay out right away. I do friends and family at this point because I trust them. Making these connections through the hobby has gotten me some great deals. I'm probably in on all of these around 85 to 90%. That's probably like what I paid on these market price wise. Sometimes I pay a little bit less if it's like I don't know, if they just like feel like hooking me up, I guess. But so yeah, all 23 of these literally just came from online connections that I've made. We got the Pilot Wine, we've got the unlimited Gyarados with a 6 swirl, we've got the McDonald's Charmander, and I'm talking about, guys, these are grail cards. These are holy grail cards that I know these sellers would have no problem moving. We got the lottery trio right here. Sellers would have no problem moving these online because these are liquid cards. These are grail cards. People really want these, and they were still willing to hook us up with a deal on them just because of the connections that we've made. You know, you talk to people in Instagram messages, you start sharing your collection. Like, I'll always share some pictures of my collection. I'll be like, guys, like, these are super dope. I see you have these for sale. Can we work out some sort of deal? Because I really want to add to my collection. Like, this is the stuff that I like. And, you know, from a vendor's perspective as well, if I think a card's going to somebody who really enjoys the hobby, and I'm talking to somebody who's clearly knowledgeable, clearly loves the hobby, clearly is being fair too, like, they're not trying to lowball me. They're giving me an under market offer, but at the end of the day, it's a fair offer based on what I would make off of eBay. I'm fine with it, you know? Like, that's the kind of person that I would even want to sell to. I want to sell to people that know their stuff and are truly going to appreciate it. And then you end up making friends. So I actually talked to some of these guys. I talk to them even when I'm not buying stuff. I'll just send them pictures of stuff that I got, and I'll be like, dude, just picked this up. Super, super stoked. Like, love grabbing it. Have you gotten any like new stuff? And then we'll just chat for a minute or two. We're never just sitting there talking anything crazy. But you get to make friends in the hobby. So all 23 of those cards came from, like I said, 4 sellers. Most of them came from 2. Cards by Max, Black Belt Bazaar. If you guys haven't checked them out on Instagram, check them out. Check them out on eBay. They've got crazy inventory. Hit them up on Instagram. They'll definitely be willing to work with you as long as you're giving them a good, fair offer. I definitely appreciate all of the deals that they've given me. And it's actually gotten to the point where I've bought enough from them. We are here where it's finally time. The mystery mail reveal, the Pokepete's first ever mystery mail day. It's gotten to a point now where they know what I like. And when they get cards that I like, they'll actually just reach out to me directly before they even post them publicly, before they even try to sell them. They're like, hey, I just picked these up. Do you want them? And that is exactly what happened with these 3. Cards by Max got these 3 cards, knew that I was his buyer, reached out, sent pictures, said, hey, I just got these. I haven't even posted them for sale yet. Do you want to try to work them out? And I said, of course, got to work them out. These are the 3 cards we picked up way under market because Max got them cheap and then just decided to do a quick flip because I'm always courteous in my messages. I'm always friendly and I'm always trying to talk about things. Giving fair prices, always a way to get good graces of the seller, and paying super, super quick. I really do feel like there is a little bit of a value if you can close out quickly and you don't sit there and make people wait forever. You don't try to like stretch stuff out. You just, that's it. You agree, you shook hands, you paid. Always a good way to do it. And if you get comfortable enough with the seller, like I am comfortable enough with these 2 sellers that I will pay them friends and family for every deal that I do here on out. If you're willing to pay them friends and family and super, super quickly like that, they're definitely going to want to work a deal with you. So these are from Cards by Max. First up, we got, you guessed it, guys, another crystal. We got the e-reader crystal Golem. So this is a card that right now I think lowest listed on eBay is $1,400. It typically sells around $1,200 to $1,300 range. That's typically what the Golems go for. Max sent us a picture. We looked at it. We were like, I asked, hey, what do you want for it? We started working out a price. I offered him $1,000 flat on it. And he said, yeah, you know what? I could do $1,000. No problem. This was the last card we negotiated for. I definitely think that he hooked me up at $1,000 flat because I was already agreeing to buy these 2. But definitely super, super cool. Definitely love that we got it. And yeah, so like, if you guys just think about it, right? If these typically go for $1,200, let's say, I got $200 off on $1,200. That's like a nice 15% discount that he gave me on an all-time grail card that I know he'd have no problem selling. If he put this in the eBay vault, he would have no problem selling this for $1,300 all day. No problem whatsoever. But he still hooked us up because we always pay quickly. We've made that good relationship. We talk about it. He knows that I'm going to appreciate these. That's another big thing, right? Like knowing that you're going to appreciate something. So we grabbed that golem, had to. Next up, we got another one. We got a second unlimited Kingdra, Win from the Sea. Picked this up for $11.50. It's a great price to pick this up for. These are definitely, I mean, I think one sold actually for, I want to say the last sold was like $1,600-$1,700. So they definitely go for a lot. I want to say probably fair market's around $1,450, $1,500. So we definitely got like a $300+ deal on this. That's almost 20% savings. If you really think about it, guys, like Max hooked us up with 20% off on a crystal type, on a PSA 10 unlimited crystal type. When he had these, I don't even care that I already have one. I had to pick up another. There was just no way that I wasn't going to do it, especially at that price point. Had to pick it up. So like Max, I believe paid $850 for the golem. So me giving him 1,000 flat, that's an instant $150 in his pocket. The Kingdra, I believe he picked this up for $10.50, gave it to us for $11.50, instant $100 in his pocket. He basically bought these, messaged me, and sold these instantaneously. So I'm keeping him liquid. Like, yeah, he probably could have got more if he did a little, trying to sell it. But the fact that he knew I would pay him out instantly and he could just make more money, put that money right back into his next thing, that's worth it to him. And that's why making this connection is so valuable, both for me and for him, because he got paid out instantly on these, and I got great cards at a steal of a deal instantly on these. It works. It's just a great thing to do. It's a great way to make friends. It's a great way to, buy and sell in the hobby. And last but not least, this is my favorite pickup of the week. We do have some other pickups that we're going to get into. I know this is kind of getting long, but this is my favorite card that we picked up this week. You guys know it is my favorite card of all time. You guys already know what this is. If you've been here in the hobby long enough, you know what my favorite card is. It's another Nidoking. We picked up a second Crystal Nidoking, PSA 10, Win from the Sea, but this one is unlimited. Our other one is first edition, and Max hooked us up on this. He gave us this for $1,500, which is $100 less than I paid for my first edition, and this is 5 times rarer. So Max really, really hooked us up on this. I want to say he paid $13 for this, so I gave him an instant $200. Basically, he gave me these 3 cards, and within a couple hours of him getting them, he made $500 on it, and I probably saved close to $800 on it. So super, super great. It's a win-win. I'm so happy that I made this connection with him, because getting these Grail cards it's just so amazing to me. I love having these. This is like my all-time favorite card. Now I have it in first edition. I have it in unlimited. I'm probably going to go buy one in English. I'm going to try to wait for one of my connections to get it first, but I'm definitely going to try to grab one of those in English, and I'll have the 3 from the sea, all the kings. So this is the mail day portion of the video. Super, super great cards. Max, thank you again for the hookup. We always appreciate it. That's the importance of connections. And guys, while we talk about those connections, building connections is always great for locals too, because I built a local connection with a good friend of mine now, Gengar Girl, on Instagram. Go give her a follow. She's great. She's always looking out for me. She went to the Ichiban Con and picked me up this super cool Cracked Ice Totodile sticker, because she knows I love Totodile, so she just grabbed it for me. And she also grabbed me a Sandaconda V alt art. This is going to be number 111 in the binder. We are going for that full 360. I'm not going to stop till I have them all. I want the Sandacondas. Do you guys got Sandacondas at home? Let me know. Drop a comment below. We'll work out a deal. I will buy your Sandaconda alt arts. I want to have all of them. On top of that, this is now just the weekly recap for what we've picked up at our trade night this week and on our adventures. So first off, we made a pretty big trade with one of our good friends, our new friends, Connor. He's a great guy. He does some vending too now. He wanted my Hidden Fates Charizard. I had a Hidden Fates Charizard. I'm pretty damn sure that thing is going to get a 10. And I planned on grading it, actually. I didn't think anybody was going to try to make a play on it. I planned on grading it. But he asked me about it. He said, hey, I want to make a play. I want to do trade. I was like, all right, I'll trade it to you. Let's see what we got. So we picked up a Supreme Victor's Articuno. Not the mintiest, but it's still a super cool card that you don't see every day. So we had to pick it up. We picked up the black and white secret rare Kyurem. Had to grab that, especially since I grabbed all the other black and whites. We got the Celebi V alternate art. We got the Charizard Neo Premium File. Super cool card. This one is pretty minty. And on top of this, we also got a Galarian Moltres alt art and a Charizard V Brilliant Stars alt art in that deal. I've already sold the Moltres and the Charizard. I actually sold them earlier today while I was raiding in Pogo with one of my other friends. Gave him a good deal. I managed to give it to him for 85% comps. So everybody gets to win on this deal. Connor's getting a cool Charizard. I'm getting cashed out a little bit and getting some cool cards in the process. Tim's getting a good hookup on some cards. So all of that working out, local connections, making friends. It can save you money and it can make everybody happy. Everybody can be plus. That deal was a win-win-win because I think Connor's going to get a PSA 10 Charizard for about $420 in value. I've got about 200-ish left in value here, and I made 200-ish off of Tim when I sold him those cards, and Tim got $245 worth of value for $205. So it's a win-win-win for all three of us. We're all super happy with the deal. Those are the best kind of deals to make. We also picked up some Sun and Moon era full arts. We got the Muck Muck. We got the Dragonite GX. We got the Sableye Tyranitar. We got a Sceptile EX. This is just a really cool one. I do love this card. It's got a really cool texture pattern. It's just a nice one. I don't see it every day, so I picked that one up. We got the full art Acerola. It's a good one. We got the Channeler in Japanese. We got this Primal Kyogre. This was the one card that I bought on Saturday's adventure to 2 card shops. I bought this at Ketchum Collectibles. Owner Joe hooked me up on a really good deal. And I love Kyogre, so this is probably going to go on my Kyogre page in my PC binder. We got a Plasma Giratina, a Dragon Majesty Charizard, kind of a weird one, and a first edition Lugia. This is not one that we picked up. This is one that I just wanted to show off a little bit because this weekend I also bought a Humidor for cigars because I saw a lot of people putting cards in Humidors to kind of fix them a little bit. And yeah, I had this Lugia. This is the Lugia that has been through hell and back at this point. When I got this card, it was probably PSA 2 quality. Had that giant oil stain. If you guys haven't checked it out, there's a video here on my YouTube of me cleaning this card. We got that oil stain completely gone. Now, there was also a little bit of like a surface scuff over here on this side. And I think that we've pretty much got that surface scuff out with the Humidor. So I think that I've managed to like really get this card from PSA 2 quality, probably up to like PSA 6 quality, maybe even a 6.5. I'm going to be sending it to CGC, not PSA, because I like CGC more. They're faster. I like the slab quality more. We're going to see what CGC decides to give this first edition Lugia. I'll be super happy with anything over a 6, honestly. If it's less than a 6, I'll probably crack it out and maybe try cleaning it one more time. Maybe try throwing the Humidor one more time, see what we can do. But I'm pretty sure that I got this from like 2 to 6 quality. So we just, cool little thing that we did. Bought a Humidor. Wanted to show it off. And last but not least, we also got a Gem Mint 10 Ancient Mew card. It does have 2 10 subgrades, a 9.5 on centering, which basically to me says that's 10 centering for PSA standards. So I kind of feel like this would easily cross to a PSA 10 with the subgrades that it got. I'm not sure that I'm going to do that. I might just like throw this one up for sale, or I might reslab it with CGC and put that 10 label on there. We'll see what we do. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that pickup. It's a cool one to say the least. Might even keep it, to be honest. I like Ancient Mew. It's a cool card. So as a 10, I might reslab it to keep it for myself. But those are the local pickups of the week. That is the weekly recap. That's what we grabbed. But yeah, guys, that's all we got. We got that crazy mail day. We got all these crystals. And I just wanted to make sure that we showed off the 3 new crystals that we got. And we talked about, how we got these, like just getting these for such a great price because you're making these connections in the hobby, making new friends. I would say top things to do before you buy something on eBay, try to find the seller off platform, reach out to them, see if you can build that bond, see if you can make that connection, pay goods and services the first couple times. Then when you get comfortable with them, start offering friends and family, ask for a little bit of a discount, be respectful with your offer. I would never like just straight out offer less than 90%, especially for like a first time purchase. But around 90%, I think that that's a pretty fair offer, seeing as how sellers will have to pay those eBay fees. And just, be nice. Talk about your collection, talk about the hobby, talk about why you're interested. Try to make a new friend, show off your collection, ask for more pictures of their collection, see what you can do. And then eventually maybe you can make connections like this where people straight up say, here, I've got these cards. They are U-type cards. Do you want them? I'll give them to you cheap. It's a quick flip for me. It's a quick gain for you. Everybody's happy and everybody gets cool stuff. So that's my parting wisdom. Let me know in the comments below if you guys have any connections like that. Let me know in the comments below if you guys are looking for some connections like that. Maybe we can find some together. Maybe I could be a connection if you guys like any of this kind of stuff. Maybe I can help find you some stuff. And let me know what your favorite card that we picked up this week is. For me, outside of the Nido, it's obviously going to be the Nidoking. It's my favorite card. Outside of the Nidoking, we got Sandaconda. Obviously, Sandaconda is my favorite. But if you want like my actual favorite pickup of the week, it is going to be the Supreme Victors. Honestly, this is just not a card that you see every day. Articuno from Supreme Victors. It's a super cool card. This one's not super minty, but it's still probably my favorite card that I get to add to my vending binder because I'll definitely appreciate seeing it in there. And I think most people will as well. But all right, guys, we'll catch you in the next one and hope you all have the best connections and get crazy stuff for your collections.